morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here, that Journey Chick on Instagram. What a weekend. Oh my God. The DP-a-thon, Sparkle-thon. It was incredible. It was probably the best one we've ever done. We raised money for charity. My charity was St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And oh my God, you guys came through. Thank you so much. So, it's a new week. Yes, Monday. I'm wearing a hat. You want to know why? Watch this video right here. It's a preview to Craft With Me Wednesday. It'll tell you why. But, and it's only a minute and a half long. So you could come right back here. Anyway. Yes, started my, there's Pearl. The show's gonna go on behind me, yes. Started my new dashboard journal, which starts in July. Put my name here, of course. So too late for July. So we started in August, second week of August. And I decorated it. Yes, I did. I don't know if you can tell. So I have this little insert here in case I like to write what I've spent for the week on this little insert. But what I did on this page was they had other titles up here. I don't even remember what it was. So I covered it and I put National Day. So anytime I say what National Day it is, I'll put it here. And then what this day in history is, and I'll put it here. Anything I upload, I will put here. So last night I put Crochet Along intro. It's a preview to the Crochet Along. All of my bills that are due this week. Yes, I have a few. And then down here, I just did some stickers. Right here, I said walk the dog, and there's 7 days. Now, starting today, because I have not been very diligent about that, and she needs to be walked. She's young, and I'm old, so I need to walk her. And then over here, I don't remember what this title was, but you know you can make it your own. You can take these planners and make it your own. So here I put menu. So tonight we're having spaghetti. So I wrote that down. Now this is supposed to be a planner, so we need to plan out the rest of the week. I imagine Tuesday night will be spaghetti as well. And I guess you gotta go out now that I'm here on camera, right? You gotta go out. You have to go out. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this off to the side so I can fill it in as the week progresses. Well, one thing that I purchased yesterday, and I'll put a picture of it here, was Diamond Art Club got me. I watched all week long. I went over to Instagram, clicked on Diamond Art Club, Monday through Friday, didn't see anything I liked. Somehow, between Friday and Saturday, they slipped another one in. They're sneaky like that. And I was blown away, absolutely blown away. Gorgeous, Notre Dame. So, I purchased it during the marathon, but so did a lot of other people. I said I would purchase it if other people did, and they would do it with me. So during the Year of Landscapes next year, a bunch of us have this painting, or are going to have this painting. Yeah, because apparently it didn't sell out on Saturday, so Saturday night during the live, we were all able to get the canvas. This is it here. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So here's how I set out during the DP-a-thon. I was going to finish this mouse. Yes. Well, I finished the upper part of the mouse. Now I got to finish the picnic table part. So I was going to finish the whole thing, right? I was just over ambitious, and I did a lot of diamond painting. I'm not going to lie. But I got all of this done. I've got to do this upper corner, and then we got to do the table down here. So today I thought I'd maybe do this section here, which again is going to be I think, part of the mouse. So let's open that up. Yeah, the mouse's tail is right here. Yep, we'll put that right there because we're going to need it again. I don't know how much I'll get done this morning. Sorry about that. Coffee. Cures what ails you. Not really, but all right. Let me get my drills out. What one do I want? Let's do Y. Let's do Y. There is no Monday dance, but maybe a song. Why? 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 Because I love you. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to Crafting and Crime Daily. I do a few other things. We do some crafting and crime. I do what National Day it is. I do what this day in history is. And then I also do the crime. Yeah, the crime. So we're just finishing up a trial, so we'll talk about that later. But today is National Book Lovers Day. Now, I love books. Don't get me wrong. Love them. Just not a fast reader. Unfortunately, I need a pen that has some wax in it. Here we go. I found one. I got this pen. Patriotic Beauty made this. And it was a gift from Treasure Studios Arts for Christmas. Let me show you. And she puts the metal tips and the metal four-placer in it. She has a Facebook group, Patriotic Beauty. So shout out to Patriotic Beauty. She makes some beautiful pins. She used to have a YouTube channel, but gave it up. She's doing so well with the pins, I think she just said, okay, let's just do pins. Good for her. There we go. We don't need no stinking line pad. Anyway, National Book Lovers Day. Do you know what a bibliophile is? Yep. I don't. I guess that's a person who loves to read books. I have some friends that are bibliophiles. Robin, Shalene, Mickey, not to call you guys out, but these people read incredibly fast. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you. Robin will tell you how many books she's Robin loves reading and all the things. She has a channel. She does book reviews, diamond painting, puzzles. Just a few things that she likes. Planning. Check out her channel, but she does some incredible book reviews. She has a blog about her book reviews. Same with Shalene. Shalene's Creativity Room. I don't know that she does book reviews on her channel, but she's an incredible reader. And then Mickey, reading all the time. And they'll once in a while suggest a book. Robin suggested a book that I'm reading now. Can't remember the name of it. What the heck's the name of it? Let's find out. It's a series, and I'm actually listening through. I'm cheating. I'm doing it on Audible. It's by Karen Rose. It's called Say You're Sorry. And I have 19 hours left. Yeah, I'm going to be on that one a while. I'm terrible with reading. I like to listen to the Audible book while I diamond paint. I have to combine things, tasks with crafting. I have to, or else I'll run out of time in the day. I really do. And I love a physical book, but it puts me to sleep. Same with the e-readers. Like last night, I was reading. I'm reading another book on my phone. It's called The Witch's Consorts, and it's a whole collection of the series. I have the whole series. I finished book 1. I'm also in book 2. Now Mickey will say, "You're not done with that yet?" Because I think there's 5. She's already finished them. Yeah, of course. I'd like to think that I'm savoring them, but I'm just falling asleep. That's that's the truth of it right there. Okay, where was I? Okay, back to National Book Lovers Day. Okay, the very first books were parchment. Yes, the pages were parchment or vellum, which is made out of calfskin. And the book covers were made of wood and often covered with leather. And then libraries came about in the Middle Ages, but they had to chain the books so they wouldn't get stolen. Because I imagine, they were only made one at a time, so you had to read them in the library. You could not check them out because they would probably never come back. In the Middle Ages. I wonder what kind of books they were reading in the Middle Ages. I'm sure it wasn't The Witch's Consorts. No. Mm-mm. And we won't go into that book, what that book is about, because this is PG rated, this show, and that book is not PG. Just saying. Oh my god, I just had so much fun at that DP-a-thon. We met some great creators, some new people. Oh my gosh, I subscribed to their channels. Yeah. Okay. If you missed the DP-a-thon, look at my description. I will put the playlist in there. If you click on that playlist, you can watch it from beginning to end or just choose which ones you want to watch. Yeah. I had fun during mine too. Lots of fun. Like I said, you might be enabled to buy a diamond painting if you watch mine. Books used to be printed in ink, but now they're printed in toner. And they're actually now, they used to mass produce books and send them out to the bookstores. Now they're more printed on demand. If they get in a certain demand for them, they'll print them. That way they don't have all that excess, and it's so much easier to print them anyway. And the ebooks are the thing. Most people just do ebooks or Audible books. I'm surprised they don't talk about Audible books in this article, because I'm a huge fan of Audible books. So you can get an e-reader, a Nook, a Kindle. The first time I had a Nook, I think I actually read over 100 books that year. So I think my favorite book that I have read in the last few years is The Silent Patient. I thought that was an incredible book. Now, I read Where the Crawdads Sing, which is supposed to be like this. It's, people rave about that book. They read it in book clubs. Not so enamored with that book. I mean, it was just okay. It was really, it was written in 2 parts. Part 1 was incredibly boring and hard to get through. Part 2 it's like it was written by 2 different people. Yeah. So maybe that's why it's such a great book to read in a book club. There's a lot you could say about it, I guess. Then I saw in People magazine that Stephen King just come out with another book. And I think this one's about a person that writes books. Yeah. Anyway. I'm not a fan. Nah, never been a fan. Well, it's not true. When he would write, he dabbled in fantasy books. But for the most part, he does the horror side, the sci-fi horror. But the fantasy, I enjoyed his fantasy books. But his horror books, like Under the Dome, oh my God. When I read that first chapter, and when that dome came down and he was describing what happened to the people when the dome came down, I became physically ill. I couldn't even read the rest of it. I just said, oh, no. And when the show came out, I knew what was coming when that dome came down. Didn't watch it. And there's the dog who wants back in. Hold on. All right, enough about books. How to observe National Book Lovers Day. Go get a new book, download a new book, give a book away, go to an old bookstore, see if you can find a title you haven't read. That's always fun. I like to do that. You know, these places that are set up and they sell the old paperbacks. Love to do that. Or I like to go into Goodwill, see if there's any books that people have donated. Or you could record a video of yourself reading to a child. There's one where the grandmother reads the Wonky Donkey to her grandchild, and that is hysterical. If you've never seen that video, try to find it. So funny. Or go to your favorite library. God, I haven't been to a public library in 20 years. I don't even know where the library is around here in Wichita. I'm going to find the library today. See where I'm just going to find it, not go to it. I'm going to Google it. Not going to go there. I don't have time. I'm working from home today. So let's get into Judge, Jury, and Journey, because we are wrapping up the trial, the Uber trial, or I put on the title rideshare because I don't want to get in trouble with Uber, in case there's any copyright on that particular phrase, Uber. Who ever heard of it, Uber? Like that word, Uber. Anyway, I digress. Uber, Lyft, rideshare. Anyway, this was the Uber case gone wrong. This was a case of a young college student in South Carolina hanging out in Columbia at this area called 5 Points. She lived at this place called the Hub, or the Hob. It wasn't far from the 5 Points area, but just far enough that she didn't want to walk. So she'd been out with her girlfriends. They were all, celebrating. Other people had graduated. She still had a year left, but she had already been accepted into law school, and had planned to practice international law. However, so she's conversing with her boyfriend several times that night on her cell phone, back and forth. He testified at the trial. That she wants to see him. Would he come see her? But he didn't. He had already graduated. He lived in she was in Columbia, he was in Charleston, I think, and just a few hours away. And he's like, no, we're getting together later this weekend, I'll see you then. So she told him she had called. It was about 2 a.m. She told him she'd called an Uber to go home. You can see video of her here waiting for her Uber ride. She's still on the phone with her boyfriend. She's like, I called the Uber. I'm waiting for the Uber. During the trial, we heard evidence, and I'm just going to kind of tell you through my summation here, basically what I'm going to give you the prosecutor's closing argument, kind of, sort of, as I describe what the case is. So, and then I'll tell you what the defense's argument was, as weak as it was. They had one. And it's not their fault. They weren't weak attorneys. They just had a weak case. So we see surveillance of this black Impala, Chevy Impala, and it is driving around this 5 Points area. It's a little area of bars it's very popular, nightlife. You can see everybody's going in the bars, out of the bars. They're selling drinks in the bar, out of the bar. They're hanging out in the parking lots. There's a lot of running across the streets and bar hopping going on, and chit chat, and hi, what's going on? Hello. I don't think she feels good today. Yeah, you don't feel good. Your tummy doesn't feel good. Oh yeah. We've already cleaned up a few accidents today. Yeah. From both ends, unfortunately. I think she's adjusting to her new doggy roommate. She likes Duncan a lot, but she don't feel good. Yeah. We'll go lay down in a little while. I can work from bed. Actually, there's a file I have to get together. Anyway, we'll figure it out, Tootsie. I have work to do. I feel like if I wear this hat, I should have my hair down, right? Anyway, you've seen the hat. Okay, we're going to take the hat off. All right, hats off. Hats off, hats off. Anyway, that's what we're going to start on Craft With Me Wednesday. Craft With Me Wednesday. Okay, back to the case. So you see the Chevy Impala. It's driving around this 5 Points area, making U-turns, going up and down the streets, parking in the parking lot, pulling out of the parking lot. I mean, for a good 15 minutes.
Could you try again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to message you.
No need to apologize.
Oh, I love the Aussie accent. Bye. Oh my God, completely threw me off, didn't it? So driving around this 5 Points area, finally he pulls into this parking lot next to where the bar where she's standing. I showed you that picture. She's standing there talking with her boyfriend. He pulls into the parking lot next to that, backs into a parking space. There's 3 cars that he lets go by and pull out of the parking lot. Then he pulls out behind the 3rd car. That 3rd car, or the 2nd car, takes a right. They all take a right, but the 2nd car that takes a right, it drives very slowly past the victim, Samantha. Was her name Samantha? I don't remember. Anyway, Samantha Josephson. Yeah, he drives past her, slows down. She thinks this is the Uber. You see on video surveillance that she walks up to the car. As she's walking up to that car, it pulls away. So she realizes, okay, that's not my Uber. So she goes back to the curb. So meanwhile, the 3rd car pulls around the corner. Now there's our Chevy Impala. It takes a right. This guy is so anxious to get to her that he drives over the curb, pulls into the handicapped space next to her. She gets in the car. Yep, just gets in. Now, the evidence showed that this car had child safety locks. So all he had to do was press a button up front. In fact, all you had to do was press the lock button. It wasn't even a special button. You just had to press lock, and all 4 doors and windows would lock the entire car. And this was tested out by crime scene technicians. What is going on behind me? Oh, the kitten is playing with the rug. So, Pearl, she's always into something. She is one busy little kitten, I gotta tell you. So, she's never seen again. Pulls out of the handicap spot and drives away. Now, surveillance follows him for quite a bit of time. Her body is found approximately 70 miles away in an area called Mount Zion. No, I don't think it's Mount Zion. Something Zion. New Zion. Her body's found in New Zion, and as it so happens, Nathaniel Rowland, who is the defendant, this is his car, his parents happen to live in New Zion, across the street from where this woman's body is dumped. Now, we're not quite sure where he's living at this point. I think some of the time he may have been staying at his sister's house, some of the time at his girlfriend's house, Maria, or maybe just in his car. I'm not sure. Nobody ever really says. I don't know if he lives in this New Zion. I don't know. Anyway, so her body is found the next day by turkey hunters that are in the area. They had started out in this one area. They weren't having any luck, so they go to another area and to find these turkeys. And it's a good thing they did, because if they hadn't decided to go to a different area to look for turkeys, this body wouldn't have been found for months and months and months. Anyway, so they decide they're going to go turkey hunting in this area. They see her body. It's not even a road that she's across. She was near. They call it a fire access road. It's a road that's built in between the brush, so the fire doesn't jump the road, and so that fire trucks can access this area. Yeah. So it's not even really a road, but these turkey hunters found it. The police are called. Her family is notified because they quickly figure out, oh, this must be the missing girl. They put out a be on the lookout, and all the police in the area picked it up, and they figured out, hey, this is this girl. The medical examiner lets us know that she had been stabbed over 120 times. And the crime did not take place where her body was dumped. The crime took place in his vehicle. She bled at least 2 liters. She bled out in his car, at least 2 liters of blood. His car had blood everywhere. The back seat, the passenger seat, the back of the center console, the back of the driver's seat, the floorboards, the trunk, the steering wheel, the gear shift. Blood was taken from everywhere. They did find her bloody footprint on the window. They figure she was probably trying to break her way out. They think she did fight very hard for her life. Crime scene lab came in. Everything was positive for her DNA. Nathaniel Rowland had DNA under his fingernails of her. He's wearing this black clothing, black shirt, a tan shirt, a black hoodie, a black jacket, a black bandana. He's got the hoodie pulled up. He's got black gloves, these red and black slip-on shoes, black socks, all of which he eventually takes off after the murder, puts them in these bags, throws them in the dumpster behind his girlfriend's house. Some of the stuff is found in her house in the trash. Some of it's found in the laundry basket. Some of it's found outside in the dumpster. All of it's got her DNA on it. Also found in the car was an envelope with handwriting on it that had buy duct tape, pink duct tape, which they did later find pink duct tape in his girlfriend's house, which had his DNA on it. They had a handwriting expert come in and say that this was, he couldn't say positively that this was Nathaniel Rowland's handwriting, but he was confident that this was this guy's handwriting. The girlfriend had left her McDonald's hat in the car, which they later found in the trunk. That had blood on it. The girlfriend testified that she witnessed him trying to clean the blood out of the vehicle. She asked him, where did all this blood come from? He told her, mind your business. Every time she tried to inquire about this blood, he would tell her, mind your business. Where's my hat? Because she had to go to work. Where's my hat? He tells her, it's in the country. Why is my hat in the country? Because it had blood on it. Why does my hat have blood on it? Mind your business. Yeah. The other thing they find in the trash is this tool. It's a very, I equated it to a Swiss Army knife because it opens and closes and it has blades on either side, but closed, it's a double blade. So the medical examiner said positively this was the blade that she was stabbed with. He said that she was stabbed. Everywhere she was stabbed, you could see the double edges of this blade, like 2 parallel stabs. She was stabbed in the brain, the head, the neck, the lungs, the arms. One stab wound went through her hand, again evidencing that she was probably fighting him off. So it was this tool that the murder was committed with, and it was found in his girlfriend's house in the trash. So had her DNA on it, even though he had tried to clean it. She saw him trying to clean it. She testified. She drove the car that day because she said she had no choice. She had to go pick up her daughter from daycare. At one point, she had put her daughter in her car seat in the back of this vehicle. I don't think it was a car seat. It was a booster chair. And she sees blood on her daughter's shoes, so she throws them in the closet. That's later found and tested and found to be positive for the DNA of Samantha Josephson. So all of this evidence against this guy, not to mention video surveillance footage of him. Well, we don't know it was him for sure because you can't see who it is, but of a person going to 2 ATMs and attempting to withdraw cash using Samantha Josephson's ATM card. And the person had on a black jacket, a black hoodie, black gloves, and you could clearly see in both surveillances the red and white, or the red and black slip-on shoes, which were found in the vehicle and tested positive for Samantha Josephson's blood. We also see him, and we do see him because now we see his face, when he goes in to try to sell her cell phone. He's got her cell phone. He goes into a cellular store and tries to sell it, and we've got all that on footage. And all of this is the very next day, or that same morning. It happens, he picks her up at 2 in the morning. She's dropped off sometime around 3 something. 2 hours away, her body is dumped. Later that morning, the girlfriend's confronting him about the blood. He takes her to work. Then he's continuing to try to clean the blood. And he goes to try to sell the cell phone. All of this is happening that day. That night or the next day, I don't remember which one it was, he's picked up because they're on the lookout now. They know it's a black Chevy Impala because they've seen the surveillance. They know it's a black Chevy Impala she got into. They're stopping every black Chevy Impala that they can. So he gets stopped. They ask him to get out of the vehicle because the officer smelled marijuana. Ask him to get out of the vehicle. He takes off running. So they apprehend him. They arrest him for the murder of Samantha Josephson. Now, what is his defense? It wasn't me. I wasn't driving that vehicle. Except he didn't testify. We just have to infer this. There was no evidence that anybody else was driving that vehicle. In fact, an ex-girlfriend testified that he never let anybody else drive that vehicle. It was always him. Maybe once in a while a cousin. Nobody else was driving that vehicle. You would have to believe that they drove the vehicle, committed the act, returned the vehicle, and then ask him to clean the blood off. I don't know. Anyway, but really the strongest thing that the defense had was that none of her DNA was found on him. I'm not surprised. He was fully clothed. Yeah. Her DNA was found under his fingernails, though, but nowhere else. Oh no, it was the other way around. Okay, it was on him, but on her, there was none of his DNA on her. I said that wrong. Okay, on her body, they did not find any of his DNA, and I still think it was because he was fully clothed, but her DNA was found on his body. So, and in the closing argument for the defense, they really tried to poke holes in the girlfriend's story. They tried to impugn her credibility. They didn't want you to think that she witnessed all this cleaning and played no part in this murder. How does she not call the police? How is she borrowing this car not calling the police. He's cleaning up blood. He's cleaning a knife. He's putting everything in these trash bags, and her DNA is on those bags. So she might have been helping him, but I don't think she had anything to do with this murder. We can see, when you see the vehicle driving around Five Points, you can see that there's only one person in that vehicle. Now, you never can see clearly who the driver is, but there's a driver in that vehicle and no one else, unless they were like crouched down in the back seat. I don't know. Anyway, that is the case. So I'm going to put up on the community page today. You get to vote. You get to deliberate, think about the evidence. Is this guy guilty of murder and kidnapping? Or is he innocent of murder and kidnapping? It was somebody else? Or is the jury going to be able to agree? Are they going to argue? Or are some people going to think he's innocent? Some people think he's guilty, and they're not going to be able to come to a decision, and it's going to be a mistrial? Which one do you... We've had all three in these cases I've covered. So which one is this going to be? We'll let you know tomorrow. And so go over to the community page and vote. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Yeah. So what happened this day in history? I have something really fun. This guy, he's an airline steward for JetBlue. This is back in 2010. I keep forgetting my password for the new iPad. Back in 2010, he is an airline pilot for JetBlue. He's been a pilot for 20 years. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. And he gets into an argument with a passenger over luggage. Now it was a Pittsburgh to New York flight. He's in New York on they're on the run. They're not on the runway. They pull up to the JFK. They're at the gates. And you know what happens in these planes. Everybody gets up to get their luggage. As soon as that plane hits the tarmac, you want to grab your luggage, but you got to wait till you pull up to the gates, and the seatbelt sign goes off. But as soon as that seatbelt sign goes off, whoosh, we're up like rockets. We want to get out of there, even though we know, because we're in the back with the cousins, as Tia would say, we got to wait for a little while. Anyway, he gets into an argument with this man over his luggage. Well, he's had it. He's like, I've had it. I can't do this anymore. And so he gets on the speakers. Some expletives come out of his mouth. He engages the slide, grabs his luggage, grabs a couple beers, and slides down the slide and says, I quit. And then he leaves and goes home. So he's later arrested for, what did they arrest him? They charged him with... what did they charge him with? This is so funny. Criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, criminal trespassing. Anyway, so he knows he shouldn't have done that. He agreed to plead guilty. In exchange, he got no jail time. He had to go to regular mental health and substance counseling. And he had to pay back JetBlue $10,000 for the price of the slide. I don't think I would have agreed to that, but he did. But then he became very, very, he got his 15 minutes of fame. He was on all the talk shows, reality shows, wanted him to come on their show. I don't know if he did. I don't recall seeing this guy on any of the ones that I watch. But so funny. Now, it's possible, they say, he didn't admit to it, but they feel like he was probably consuming alcohol prior to that plane landing, which exacerbated what he did. How funny. I mean, it was caught on the news. It made the news. If I can find any footage of it, I'll insert it, so we can all take a gander at this. But, yeah, how funny. I'm just dropping these drills everywhere. Okay. Guys, that's the show for today. I went over a little bit. I always do sometimes when I get into these crime stories because it's really interesting. Alright, I will bring you a new trial tomorrow. Hopefully Law and Crime is going to have a new one starting today or tomorrow. It's Monday. Let's hope we're in sync again. I know they just finished up one last week, so if they don't start a new one today, I may head over and cover the one from last week. We'll see. Anyway, I love you all. Take care.